The Living Zen-podcast is a gift from the members and associates of the Victoria Zen Center to you. If you enjoy it, please be sure to let your friends know about Living Zen. If you'd like to support our community, here are a few ways that you can do it. Download the Living Zen podcast app for iPod, iPhone, or Android. You can also purchase additional Zen Talks by Venerable Eshu on iTunes or Amazon.com. One of the most meaningful ways to show your support is by joining our Sangha as an associate. Your commitment of $10 a month will ensure that offerings like the Living Zen podcast and our online eZendo will continue to be available around the world to everyone with an interest in truly living Zen. To become an associate, please visit our website at www.zenwest.ca and click on the membership tab. Thank you for your support. So today I just wanted to talk about Sangha. I just want to start with a few comments just about training together. We have become a healthy, pretty big, actually, community of Zen practitioners. But to practice Zen, Zen is a school in the Mahayana, the so-called Great Vehicle. And looking around the room, there's a whole bunch of people here that are wearing wagesas, who have received the sila through the ceremony of Jukai. And there's a few more who are going to receive the sila. And in that ceremony of Jukai, one of the things that we do it most regular Sundays and on all of our intensives every day, is 4 of the vows that we do are the great vows. We do them at the end of the ceremony. Maybe because we do them at the end of the ceremony, because we do them so frequently, we don't think about them so much. But this 4 vows, this Mahayana great vehicle, is the vehicle in which we practice for the benefit of all beings. So each of us, I think, comes to practice and we're fundamentally concerned with ourselves. We're fundamentally concerned with our own circumstances, our own experiences, our own circumstances. We want to be better fathers and mothers and partners and workers. But fundamentally our concern is ourselves. And we come together with a bunch of other people who are fundamentally concerned with ourselves. And that's good. I think it's the only place to start. But as long as we sort of hold on to this perspective, we are not practicing in the Mahayana. We're not practicing sort of the great vehicle of Zen. And as we continue to practice, the form itself points to the truth of our interrelationship. Each and every aspect of this form that we engage in presses us towards this realization that we are interdependent, that we are not separate from. And we focus in formal Zen practice, in the form, on realizing this. And it manifests in 1,000 ways. It manifests most grossly in things like chanting, in things like sitting in the Zendo, in things like walking meditation. If you can't grasp your relationship with the people that you're practicing with through chanting, through walking in step, close behind, my goodness. When you fall out of step, the whole line behind you falls out of step. When you gap out, think about something else, the whole line, the whole world is affected. And this is right in your face. If you can't grasp it, wake up. If you can't grasp this principle in walking meditation, imagine what you're doing throughout the rest of your life, where it's not so pressed, where the idea that you can be separate from the world around you is held up by society. Oh, this won't affect anyone else. If you can't grasp it when it is being compassionately revealed, please wake up. Lately, I've been spending a lot of time and energy sort of looking at the potentiality of our community, getting into property, getting into buying something to build as a community. And for as long as I can remember, from the moment that I started getting involved in Zen practice, maybe, this has been a dream of mine, a vision of mine, to build a place of practice here on Vancouver Island where people could come and engage in this practice as a community, even residentially if the desire was there, on a small scale, in Canada. When I wanted to train intensively, I had to leave this country. There was nowhere, and there still, as far as I know, is nowhere to do that in Canada. And I think that's really sad. But as I go about looking into this endeavor, it becomes clearer and clearer why there is no such place in Canada. This is a huge endeavor. It's not just buying a piece of property, but it's buying a piece of property that's in the right place, close enough to Victoria, not too far away, zoned correctly, has the capacity for building. And then we get into generating the finances, crunching the numbers to look at how to pay for it all. But beyond that, just so you know, realistically what I'm looking at is, I think our bill would be in the $1 million range. Welcome to Vancouver Island. Beyond that, one of my biggest concerns is that the idea, the vision, is beautiful. But the reality is work. Lots and lots of work. Saving money and bending our backs. Why? This is the practice of the Mahayana for the benefit of all beings. Zen Sangha is the place where we manifest this spirit together. Again, I say, this teaching is pressed, it's pushed into the very form. And my concern is whether or not we as a community grasp it, really grasp it. When you're in an officer position, if you're even the secondary officer, particularly if you're the secondary officer and your senior has less experience, isn't clear on what to do, you're there to support them. It is a job in which we are playing roles and we are serving the community. So when we're in the Jikijitsu, it's not like I'm just leading the community. The word jikijitsu comes from the one who serves the bodhisattva. Now we can understand this as the bodhisattva that's usually on the Butsudan, but we can also understand it as the one who serves the bodhisattvas, the people who are sitting in the hall, awakening. The joko, the incense helper, is the person who assists the jikijitsu, the servant of the bodhisattvas in the zendo. The shoji, the under shoji, the little shoji, is the person who helps the shoji. And particularly if these people have done more training, they're more familiar with that senior role, your job is to really help, to serve one another. In Zen practice, our job is to be of benefit, to be the servants of all beings, to support and help, to work for one another. So when I talk about this community moving forward into building a Zen center together, I get concerned, actually, because I have this wonderful wife. And when I start dreaming out loud, she's always ready with a bucket of ice water. So I say, we'll get 10 acres, and we'll have a nice little house for the family, and we'll build a meditation hall, and as we go forward, we'll maybe get a kitchen that can cook the meals for the retreats, and we'll have a shower building, and we'll build these little 8 by 10 cabins that people can stay in, and then people, as we're looking, say, and then we can make sure that there's lots of land so that we can have gardens and grow vegetables and all this kind of stuff. And Nikki steps up with the bucket of water and goes, whoosh! Look at the gardens here, she says. Look at the job we do here, she says. Much talk of sweat equity, work to be done for our community, what we'll all be doing. But there is a lot of wisdom in a reality check, in looking at how we treat and how we hold and how we perceive things as they are. When we talk about how we're going to perceive things in the future. This is a rental house. This is the house where I live with my family. This is the place where we practice. This is what we have at this moment. This teaching I talk over and over again. There's nowhere else for us to go. There's nothing else for us to do. Look at what we're doing. It's difficult when we do things like Zazenkai and there's a work period. For many years, I know that working in the garden, there is some small part of us that has resentment. It says, God damn it, this is Eshu's house. Why am I working in the garden? Even for myself, when I look around this house and see things that I'm dissatisfied with, I feel like I'm passing through. I say, well, this isn't really the real Zen center. I'm going to save my energy for the point where we have our own place, and then it will be important. And this is a lie. This is, of course, just a deception that I tell myself, because I know that there is nowhere else to go. There's nothing else to do. Where is the Zen Center? It's right here. The Zen Center is not in Eshu's house. Eshu lives in the Zen Center. If you speak to my family, they will confirm this for you. How many days of their lives do they shuffle around in the quiet? Do they go out of the house so that I can have meetings or run programs? People ask, do Nikki and the kids practice Zen? If we're talking about Mahayana practice, manifesting as servants of the Bodhisattvas, they are some of the greatest practitioners in the Zen Center. Wow, I really had no intention of getting into this sort of hellfire and brimstone kind of a talk today. But I'm looking forward. I'm looking into the future of the Zen Center. Everyone, maybe not everyone. I haven't talked to everyone. Many of the people who I've spoken to are very excited about the idea of moving forward, building a Zen Center, getting property, having a residence, having the place. Building a resource for the future to be of benefit to all beings. Many people are excited about this. I think if we're going to get there, we have to really reassess, relook at, recommit to building that future from this present, this moment, this activity, this relationship, this community, this space, this place. I just received an email. Our center, as you may or may not know, is in the process of changing our organizational name. For 33 years, this has been the Victoria Zen Center, which over the past 8 years has been one of the greatest challenges for me. Who are you? I am the abbot of the Victoria Zen Center. Where is the Victoria Zen Center? It's in Suk. Huh? So the organizational name, the official name, is going to be, we have to vote on it, but the name that we're putting forward is the Zenwest Buddhist Society, which we'll call Zenwest. And I think this is a wonderful time for us to re-examine where we have come from, re-examine where we are going, and to re-examine what we do, how we are engaging, how we are making relationship with one another in our Sangha in this moment, moves us from this past into the future. I think these Sundays are a wonderful opportunity for us to see this community, for us to witness this practice together, for us to feel our relationships together. So I hope that we can manifest, because this practice isn't just about sitting in the zendo. It is about how do we manifest. We make Zen come alive, we say. We co-create our community, we say. Manifest. Show me. Let's see. Hai. Thanks for listening to the Living Zen-podcast. If you follow Living Zen through iTunes, I would very much appreciate it if you would take a moment to let me know what you think about it by rating or reviewing the podcast, so that new listeners can also hear what you have to say. Thank you for your time and for your support.